Welcome to Backstories, the podcast where we dig deep into the untold tales behind the people, places, and moments that shape our world. Every month, we'll uncover the hidden narratives that inspire, surprise, and challenge us. So, grab your headphones and get ready to journey into the past, one backstory at a time.
So another first-time storyteller. This is Jasmine. The story is The Winter Coat.
All right, hi everyone, I'm Jasmine. Now this story takes place about 9 years ago. When I was a freshman in college, I played soccer for my university, and I hated it. I remember going back to my dorm after every practice during preseason and literally crying. I was miserable. But I didn't want to quit mid-season because I had made a commitment, and even without not wanting to be perceived as a quitter, there was this interesting dichotomy that kept me playing. Yes, I was miserable, but it also felt kind of cool. Not very many people can say that they were a college athlete. I got to miss classes occasionally or got extensions on projects when we had really far away games and things like that. Not to mention the gear. We had 4 different jerseys, a long sleeve and a short sleeve of both white and black. We had shorts, we had sweatpants, we got a pair of tennis shoes, and we also had a big winter coat that went all the way down to my knees. As a little girl growing up playing soccer for the YMCA, we had none of that. We had like maybe 1 jersey. But with the exception of the tennis shoes, we had to give everything back when we were done playing. Well, flash forward a few months and it's winter. I made friends with people outside of the soccer team and was finally feeling confident enough to consider quitting at the end of the season. The thing holding me back? I went to college in Minnesota, right on the border of Fargo, North Dakota. And if you know anything about that area, it is cold. Which I don't mind, but the only coat that I had was the one from the soccer team that I would be required to give back if I quit. And at the time, I couldn't afford a new coat. So, I debated for weeks. Do I quit and just kind of be cold all the time? Or do I keep playing, keep being miserable, but staying warm when I leave the dorm? Winter break came, and I went back home to Nebraska. I was working at the same movie theater that I worked at in high school. One day, an older woman came in with her about 8-year-old granddaughter. As they were buying tickets from me, the woman was good-naturedly scolding her granddaughter for not having zipped up her coat. I still don't know why, but I jokingly made a comment along the lines of, well, at least she has a coat. And after a brief kind of awkward pause, I went, on. I meant at least she has a coat on. And the woman looked at me, seeing straight through me in the way only a grandmother really can, and asked what I actually had meant in that moment. So I shared some of what was going on with her. That soccer wasn't fun anymore, that the girls were cliquey, and I wanted to quit, but I wasn't sure I could because I wanted to keep the coat. She told me she was sure I would make the right decision, then her and her granddaughter went into their movie. Several hours and many guests later, 2 people came in with a gift bag, which was pretty common since the theater was in one of those outdoor malls. But instead of asking for movie tickets, they sat the bag on the counter and just stared at me. There was a little girl who was practically vibrating with excitement. I kind of confusedly asked them if they wanted me to keep the bag behind the counter during their movie, and the woman looked at me and said no, that the bag was actually for me. In that moment, I looked at them and realized that it was the same grandma and granddaughter from like 5 hours earlier. And the woman, seeing the realization come across my face, said, "So, are you going to open the bag?" I did, and pulled out a beautiful red coat that had fur lining the hood. I protested. I said, I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to ask for a coat. I'm just an oversharer. I really didn't mean anything. I just kind of say things sometimes. I don't always think. And she kind of looked at me and she said, "Nonsense. Life is too short to spend it doing things that don't make you happy. Now you can quit in peace if that's what you choose to do, knowing you'll have a coat." I again tried to argue, but she stopped me. And she said, "I am trying to teach my granddaughter the importance of being kind. So actually, thank you for giving me the chance to give her this lesson." 5 days later, I emailed my coach that I would not be playing in the spring. 5 weeks later, I started playing rugby, And 5 months from now, I'll be traveling to Scotland to play rugby on a select side rugby team. Now, I still have that coat, and every winter when I put it on, it serves as a reminder to me that there is good in the world. But even without having the coat still, I'll always remember that woman and her granddaughter, not for the coat, but for the optimism that they cemented in me. Thank you.